Revolutionary greetings, comrades. We extend our most profound gratitude to the Frontline Socialist Party, Sri Lanka, for the fraternal invitation to your fourth convention. On this momentous occasion, it is a great honor to offer our warmest revolutionary greetings and best wishes for the resounding success of the convention on behalf of beloved our Scientific Socialist Communist Party, Nepal. Today, the global communist movement stands not merely in a defensive posture, but the throes of an existential crisis, the historical reality that no significant communist revolution has occurred since the Cuban Revolution in 1959. The collapse of existing socialist powers and the failure of the revolutionary attempts worldwide over the last half century have compelled us all to our deep introspection. We must develop a new synthesis regarding today's globalized capitalism, contemporary global contradictions, and the context of the upcoming socialist revolution. We must undertake strategic efforts for a new revolution in a new era. In this spirit, our party has reached the conclusion that science and technology have emerged as a primary productive forces, and that the model of class struggle and revolution today must be fundamentally based on science and technology. Until now, throughout the world, we have mostly applied the revolutionary roadmap of revolution first, socialist economy and political system latter. In doing so, we primarily utilize the Russian and Chinese models of armed mass uprising and protected people's war. However, we have synthesized a new path. The implementation of socialism must begin from the very inspection of the struggle, encompassing a parallel economy, a parallel political authority, and a parallel cultural system. We believe this model is now possible due to the current state of the productive forces. Historically, socialism was practiced through the system of democratic centralism for fortify the party and the state. We seek to involve this by adopting communitarian sovereignty as our fundamental organizational principle for both party structure and state governance. To achieve this, we are proceeding with the firm realization that we need to embark the path of communitization, navigating away from binary of privatization and state nationalization by building sovereign communities that integrate ideology, production, and class struggle instead of the traditional cell committees. The ascent of science and technology as a productive force has unlocked the potential for the dissolution of private ownership, the realization of abundance and truly equality, creating favorable conditions for socialism and world communism. We are entering in the era of the end of extreme minimization of labor and technology takes an absolute hold of production. This has given rise to a vast displaced class and the base of social hierarchy. Therefore, the new mandate of class struggle is to seize science and technology, which is now dominant in the production, social, political, and military spheres, and place it in the hands of the proletariat and the displaced class. The contradictions of our time have gained new dimensions. The contradiction between imperialist powers, the contradiction between imperialist and oppressed nation, and the contradiction between comprador capitalist regimes and the masses within oppressed nation. In South Asia, globalized capitalism manifests at a comprador parliamentary system. We are deeply concerned by the trap of neoliberalism. The direct impact of the Indo-Pacific strategy such as the MCC project and the recent naked intervention of imperialist power following the Gen Z uprising in Nepal, Sri Lanka, and Bangladesh. However, the protests of millions at the headquarters of capitalism, such as in the US and Europe, reveal the globalized capitalism itself is in a state of crisis. We could not have capitalized on the widening class gap contradictions visible worldwide due to the weak state of the global socialist movement. The barbaric interventions in Ukraine, Venezuela, Iran, and Palestine represent both a peak of imperialist barbarism and a symptom of its internal crisis. The global communist movement historically elevated the issue of women's liberation or the end of patriarchy, but we failed the institutionalization woman leadership as an absolute necessity in production, class struggle, and party structure from the very beginning. This led to incomplete narrative that women's liberation would automatically follow class liberation. Our party places the end of 8,000 years of patriarchy and the issue of women's liberation on a par with the class issue. We have moved beyond the past rhetoric of bringing women into movement and revolution to a new paradigm. Revolution is an impossibility without the proportional participation and leadership of women. In the context of South Asia, class information is rooted in the caste system, and we conclude that the end of the 3,000 years old caste system must be treated as a matter of the same magnitude as class struggle. In countries with multiple nationalities like Nepal, the socialist movement must be embraced a new governance model that ensures the autonomy of all oppressed nationalities for the preservation that scientific or originalities such as language, cultural, civilization, and so on. We have rejected the capitalist principle of participation of proportional representation for oppressed nationalities and communities. Instead, we propose a new perspective, the right of oppressed nationalities and communities to self-decision and self-rule. Furthermore, we believe the issues of LGBTQI community and peoples with disabilities must be addressed with profound theoretical and practical depth. Comrades, it has been nearly half a decade since established our party in Nepal. In the wake of the failure of the 10 years People's War, Nepal is currently experiencing the aftershocks of counter-revolution. The 2/3 communist majority has been shattered. The failure of the comparator parliamentary system and the world communist movement has led to dominance of populist politics. Imperialism has intensified its micromanagement of Nepal, including through the MCC project. Populist politics has also hijacked the Gen Z uprisings. Parliamentary elections are being held in this week, and there is a high probability that populist extremists will gain a foothold. The election is being used under an imperialist plan as a tool to end the communist movement worldwide. Currently, revolutionary forces, including our party, who boycott the election, are facing widespread arrests and crackdowns. Amid this scenario, we are initiating a new revolutionary roadmap with fresh ideological debate. We are beginning fundamental work in the communities with the people. Comrades, it is a privilege to share this brief synthesis concerning the global and Nepalese movement. It is our hope that while preparing for the socialist revolution within our own countries, we march together toward world communism by building a scientific socialist international. We wish to advise our discussions with these objectives in mind. May this convention serve a significant milestone for communists and Marxists worldwide to revitalize the communist movement for a new era. Once again, I wish the convention great success and conclude my remarks. Thank you. Lal Salam.